Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing today? So one of the things I think I must address is the upcoming eviction crisis. It is something that both Meet Kevin and Ken McElroy have identified as reasons to be afraid, as reasons for the housing market to crash. And I believe both of those gentlemen are wrong and wrong for different reasons. So allow me to go through some details. I'm going to use a report done by the Federal Reserve, the Bank of Philadelphia as my baseline. We will kind of set it up. Then we will go through the rationale and why I do not see the eviction crisis, as both Meet Kevin and Ken McElroy have identified, are going to be problems for the single family market. Now, Ken McElroy is an apartment investor. He has 10,000 plus units. He makes me look small. Ken likely is feeling a lot of pain. Apartment owners in urban areas, especially in Class A, are feeling pain as we will go through these numbers. But just because Class A apartments are feeling pain does not equate to single family homes. Then if we switch over to Meet Kevin, his experience is first and foremost the last 10 years. He did not experience the last crisis. He was in high school. But his experience is very Southern California oriented. And I would argue Southern California is not the national market. So let me set it up. I will go through the details. I'm sharing this with you because it's my opinion. Yes, I strongly disagree with both Ken and Meet Kevin, but let me know if you think I'm wrong. So here's the numbers from our Federal Reserve report from Friday, yesterday. This report was done basically to add pressure to Congress. Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia says there's 1.34 million renters that are expected to be behind in rent by December. Total amount of rent due is going to be $7.2 billion. At 1.34 million renters, that is approximately 4.2% of all renter population. To take the 1.34 million into 7.2 billion, you get an average rent behind of $5,400. First and foremost, if you are one of those tenants and you are behind in rent because you lost your job, you've had a health scare because of this event, please know I feel for you. Please know I hope your landlord has a heart and works with you. What this video is about is proving that both Meet Kevin and Ken McElroy are wrong. This eviction crisis is not going to move the needle in single family homes. Okay. So first off, here is kind of what both Meet Kevin and Ken McElroy are saying. Tenants are missing rent. These people are eventually going to be evicted. Eviction will eventually lead to a landlord being frustrated and landlord will sell. Well, that's rather simplistic, and we're going to kind of peel that apart. But the greatest error that both Ken McElroy and Meet Kevin are making is they are taking tenants that are late in mass and equating that mass to single family homes. That is wrong on so many levels. As someone who owns apartments and houses, someone who's been a landlord for 20 years, somebody who's not in an expensive market like Meet Kevin, here's the deal. Most of the economy is trucking along. I think Jim Cramer has said it best. The American economy is a 4-lane highway, but we have one lane that is shut down: hospitality, entertainment, movies, all that stuff. The other 3 lanes are doing okay. Not perfect, but doing okay. So again, if you're in a secondary market or a suburb, you're not in a high-priced area like LA, like San Francisco, like New York, you're going to be okay most of the time. But here's the big thing, and this is where Ken McElroy is wrong. So again, 1.34 million people or tenants or families are late on rent by the end of December to the tune of 7.2 billion. Sounds scary, right? Well, one rental at a time, we're talking about single family homes. We are not talking apartments. We are not talking Class A apartments. We're not talking Class B apartments. We're not even talking Class C apartments. We talk single family residence. And this is where me, Kevin, and Ken McElroy are wrong, in my opinion. If you take the entire mass of 1.34 million families that are behind on rent, what percent live in apartments versus what percent lives in homes? The reality is it's cheaper to rent an apartment. The reality is if you are in the service industry in most cities, you are probably in apartments. If you have a home today, you are doing everything you can to stay there because your home, a house, is your gym, is school, is daycare, is your job, is your movie theater. It's everything. You will invite people to move in with you to make rent in a single family home. So my estimates are 80% of the 1.34 million families that are late live in an apartment. That means 20% of the folks that are late are in houses. So if you take 1.34 million times 20%, because we are worried about single family homes, that leaves 268,000 people in homes behind in rent. But here's the deal. I believe even that is misguided. That 268,000 is a national number. Here is my belief, and I would love to hear from you again. I believe 50% or greater of that number, 268,000, is going to be concentrated in 50% of 10 markets, meaning half of the people that are late are in 10 markets across the country. Probably San Francisco, probably LA, probably Las Vegas, probably Orlando, probably Chicago. You know the list. So if you are in a suburb and not in an urban city, what you are now looking at is approximately 134,000 homes, again, nationally, that could be in the suburbs. So again, this is how it went. 1.34 million people, 20% are houses. Whack, took that down. Then we took 268,000 and said half of those are in the top 10 most painful cities, leaving 134,000 left. First and foremost, even if all 134,000 of those suddenly hit the market, it would be absorbed in weeks. But again, meet Kevin and Ken McElroy are wrong because even that 134,000 families, it will go something like this. First, if you are a frustrated landlord, you don't have to wait. You can sell now. You can sell tenant occupied. So my guess is 10% of that 134,000 is already listed for sale. They are not waiting. And I know in my market, there are 2 or 3 listings that are frustrated landlords. So this huge wave that Ken and me, Kevin, are talking about has already been reduced. 13,400. Then there's an argument that, okay, once they're vacant, then landlords will sell. As a landlord, I think that's ridiculous, but let's assume it's true. You've already suffered all this time, paid the eviction fee, and now you sell? Okay, maybe. So let's assume 20% sell at that point. That means only 26,800 homes are going to come on the market. That will be a day or 2 of inventory. It will mean nothing to the bigger scheme of things. I believe what will happen is landlords, frustrated landlords, will evict, they will vacate, they will clean, and then they will sell. They will sell clean smelling, pretty properties to FHA buyers. I believe that will be another 10%. And then the remainder, I believe landlords that are frustrated today will get to the other side of the eviction, realize that their net worth is up because their house is worth more. I believe most non-urban markets will see rent increases because demand is through the roof. And landlords are going to throw their properties back on the rental market and get an extra $100, $200, or even $300. So in the end, while the eviction crisis is real, it is something that is painful. As someone who suffered through this kind of housing uncertainty as a kid and can still remember it, I know what it feels like. But this eviction crisis is not going to hurt single family homes in the suburbs. Ken McElroy, it's probably going to hurt Class A in the big cities. You're going to have some value destruction. Meet Kevin, the expensive markets like LA are in trouble. Your, I forget what you call them, value add or buying at a discount is in trouble as values fall. But most of us, like myself, who invest in non-expensive markets in suburbs across the country, this eviction crisis will not create the inventory. It will not hurt your values. Keep moving forward. Single family rentals are the thing to own. Hedge funds like Blackstone and others want to own single family homes because they provide safe investment and a great return. So don't let these talking heads that don't understand single family homes or are so biased on SoCal to ruin your investments. Let me know what you think. Walk through my logic, put it on paper. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Take care.